Bonjour, broskies. Ever wonder what happened to Prussian blue? I'm a lover of deep colors like Prussian blue and phthalo green. Those are peak colors, and I thank my eyes for allowing me to see them in that specific way that's so pleasing to me. I like history, so Prussian blue definitely stands out to me as a color, for both the actual color as well as the name. But it's been well known that the name got scrapped, so I wanted to look into what other colors received the same fate. I thought, where best to start? And the obvious answer was the Crayola website. And it gave me answers. Sort of. Crayola has a specific section on their website for discontinued colors, but it seems limited. First off, there was no mention of Prussian blue, which I knew for a fact was discontinued/renamed. So now I'm all on edge because why are you lying to me about crayons? And second off, basic common sense tells me that Crayola has to be a fairly old company. So why are you trying to tell me that the first time you discontinued colors was in 1990? Desperate for answers on what happened to my one true love, Prussian blue, led me to the most beautiful website I have ever found. My Lord and Savior, Jenny. Honestly, I only really looked at this one post because, oh my gosh, was it a beautiful post. Not only did she hold answers out to me in the palm of her hand, she color-coded them. My gal Jenny took over 500 Crayola crayon names and color-coded them. Jenny, I don't care if you end up being some middle-aged mom in Wyoming. Marry me. Right now. I love you. So with that said, over 500. Yeah, I'm not going through all that. That was definitely more than I expected. Okay, let's go. Baby steps. Hold Mother Jenny's hand and she'll guide us to safety. Jenny starts off by bringing up some good points in how do you define a new color. Jenny's definition is that if it looks different on paper, it's a new color. So glitter and metallic ones, stuff like that, new color. She also made separate sections for classifying the names. She has retired colors, permanent name changes, and temporary name changes. But my sweet Prussian blue, I'm here for you. So to the permanent section we go. Wait, they did a temporary America-themed one? Okay, I'll make an exception. So first off, Crayola was created in 1885. So their claims of their first massacre being in 1990, I still call it fake. Their exact wording is, 1990, for the first time in Crayola history, 8 colors were retired and placed in the Crayola Hall of Fame. So I think they got around that with the Hall of Fame part. Liars. It's funny reading some of the earlier ones because it'll list retired colors in 1917. Pink. Excuse me? Are we sure about that? That's a pretty foundational color there. They also turned out to be necromancers, with some coming back to life. Multiple times. That's just torture at that point. Be nice to my little charcoal gray. Charcoal gray was retired in 1910 and 1935. Now, I'm not saying that when charcoal gray becomes retired that it means imminent doom is guaranteed within the next few years, but I wouldn't want to be here if it retired recently. This one leaves with a vengeance. 1958, one of the most beautiful colors met its doom. Prussian blue. Renamed because Prussia just wasn't relevant to kids anymore. I mean, I could think of a few other reasons why you'd want to rename it, but sure, let's go with that one. Jenny also listed this under retired colors, which, hold on, isn't right. So what's happening here, Jenny? I trusted you. And to paraphrase, there was no standardization in the early days, and Jenny wasn't about to play the game of what's a new color and what was simply renamed. So we're a bit all over the place. Don't blame my girl, she did enough. Let her rest. So I got my answer of Prussian blue, so I decided to just skim the list a little bit. I had some other concerns. I wanted to see more of the permanent name changes, because I remember seeing an Indian red crayon. I knew Crayola has the make your own crayon thing, so I need to investigate if this was actually real. I can put dots together, but sometimes that 9 is a 6, or the 3 is a weird looking 8. Point is, I'm not the best at kids' games. But nope, in 1999, Indian red was changed to chestnut. And wow, Canada, What do we call Indigenous people in government? Like, what's the official governmental term currently used right now? What's on all the paperwork and the name of the departments that focus on them? What's the status called? Indian. Right. Crayola won't give me that answer. I think a fun one to keep tabs on is the flesh color. 1949, flesh tint to simply flesh. Note the color. 1956, flesh to pink beige. 1958, pink beige to flesh. And 1962, flesh to peach. There seems to be some sort of hidden racist rivalry happening here that needs to be uncovered. Get one of those graphs, overlay the public opinion on civil rights with the name changes of the flesh color crayons. File that away for a project for another day. 2003 saw some sass and spice in its permanent fluorescent names. Hot magenta? Okay, sweetie, that's nice, but let the professionals deal with this. Because that's obviously razzle dazzle rose. Ultra red? Strike 2. Wild watermelon. Ultra orange? That's outrageous orange. And also, you're fired. There's some rare colors, specifically metallics, released in 1987 in Canada. So rare that my gal Jenny couldn't even color code these bad boys. When Jenny was stumped, I took a shot at it and found that the color codes are just straight up unknown. As you can guess, their names are all metallic centered. For example, you have your kryptonite and cast iron. Pan and furred. I have some questions about some of their 1997 Techno Bright temporary theme renames, like www.purple or green.com. Like, I get the theme, okay? You also have circuit board green, floppy yellow. Yes, floppy. I double checked that I wasn't skipping words there. But I'm judging the websites here. I don't know, it just seems lazy. Unless these completely make sense to tech people, then okay, I guess. And last but not least, the 2004 state colors. Some that stood out include Illinois, with the name Abe Lincoln's hat. Wanna guess what color that is? Probably the only instance of the words Abe Lincoln and black that has nothing to do with civil rights. Wyoming's yellow for Yellowstone. I see you. Orange, you glad you're in America? Williams Burgundy? Okay, we're done here. That's enough puns. Anyways, my family wasn't a Crayola family, so I didn't even know there were themed boxes. Fun! I've put the link to Jenny's post in the description if you want to look deeper into crayon names. These are just some of the highlights that stood out to me. Ciao!